Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Never End Podcast, the podcast open to everyone, especially Kyle Fletcher. My name is Luke. I'm your host of the Never End Podcast, and with me, as always, is Mr. Andy. Say hello, Mr. Andy.
Hello, Mr. Andy. Hello, Luke. And hello to the listeners. Today, this is Never Realm 33, where we're going to talk about whatever we want, maybe including wrestling, but probably not.
No, just like that's all I was going to bring up. Kyle Fletcher, that's it, done.
He won the
Mentioned
match. He beat the
He beat
guy.
Will Ospreay. Can you imagine the reaction on my face? I was pretty happy.
Jay White won match, too.
I was even happier when that happened. Yeah, I had a good time.
Unbelievable. Yeah, guys are winning the matches. So do you like Will Ospreay now more that he lost?
Yeah, about the same.
So it doesn't matter what he does. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's fine, you know. Yeah.
What if he teamed up with Doki and was just always talking about how awesome Doki is and didn't care about winning and just gave Doki all the pins? Would that be okay? Would you be happy then? No?
Yeah, probably.
It works better when it's Taichi, but I guess,
Kiss Doki's boots. That'll do it.
That's right. Couldn't tie Doki's boots,
No.
Couldn't lace them. That's what
just smooch them. Yeah.
That's right. So
just all right. So
I
will mention at the top of the show though that if we do start talking about something, we're going to spoil it. So
including AEW pay-per-views apparently. So
that's already happened. Come on, man. That will show you.
We can't spoil it before it happens. Well, I mean, we can because we're so smart. But I'm just saying.
That's right. Anyone who's wanted to watch that show has watched that show by now. Come on, man.
Okay, take it easy.
No, let's go.
It's time to fight. Okay.
See, I watched a lot of violent television and film lately, Mr. Guy. So
me too.
Obviously, it translates into real life.
Yeah, it starts snowing around these parts, and it's not snowing today, but we had a good snow. And last time we recorded, I mentioned a football game that was on, and it snowed like a bastard during the football game, and it was one of the coolest things ever. There's something amazing about football in the snow, and it was just a wild game. But my point being, going outside is over now. So no more going outside, only watching TV, which is what I do anyway.
Wow. Ouch. We're having, today it's not too hot, but we've been having 33, 34 degree days. I don't know. What is that? 90 something?
That's warm. That's a lot of degrees.
Yeah. So it's been nice, but now I've got multiple days of rain and it's 20 something and humid. So yay.
Yeah. Good old humidity. That's the worst kind of heat, right? It's you walk outside, it punches you in the fucking face, and you're air conditioning. Oh, that's wrong.
You're not walking around anywhere. You're swimming. You're not.
That's right, man. Ohio. If there's something beyond 100% humidity, we can do it here. It's not in the bayou, but it's pretty close.
Man, snow. I haven't seen snow in years. Oh, I mean. TV movie doesn't count.
Oh, I love that when people say I've never even seen snow, and it's fuck you.
Come on, man.
Snow is.
Yeah. I don't know what snow is.
You ever see these YouTube videos, and it'll be professional drummer hears Rush for the first time, and it's first time this person who is the successful drummer doesn't know Rush. Okay. You know what I mean? It's not all those are anytime it says first time ever, Baby Duck swims for first time ever. Motherfucker's been filming it for a week. You know what I mean? Finally it swims. No, you just put first time ever at the end and then it's first time ever. This is actually, we're going to debut a new segment later on, which is a surprise segment. All right. It will be the first time ever.
Cool. Well, if it's the first time we've done it, it's true. Well, but then you say it again next week. That's the gimmick, isn't it?
Well, this is the first episode of the Never Realm. So welcome to Never Realm, folks. This is where we talk about whatever we want. So,
riveting conversations about the weather and all sorts of things.
I'm an asshole. Did I bring up the weather? Was that me? Like, bringing up the weather is like the ultimate dickhead thing to do, right?
We
How
got
about
different
this heat?
weathers though. Yeah, right. But you did add in like this cool little anecdote of football in the snow, which is
That
kind
was-
of good.
Oh, it was
We have our footy season in the winter as well, and we don't get to see our players play in snow. But
Oh,
and especially half the time when there's games played in Queensland, which might as well be like 30-degree heat all year round. But if they're playing in Victoria or South Australia or something, it might be a chance that they're all covered in mud, you know?
yeah, I've
If
seen
you're
pictures
into
of that. Yeah, I've seen them play in the
Yeah.
mud and they hit the ground and slide and all that shit. And it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of sliding going on in rugby too. That's going on all over the place anyway. But like, there's something about like in baseball, you play outside, but you don't play in the weather. If it rains, they stop. You know, for the most part.
Same with
But
cricket.
yeah, see when there's a ball and a bat involved, it's like that's a little dangerous, you know. But with football, the idea is that they play no matter what, unless there's
Yeah.
lightning. And that is one of the things that happens is that these two teams, one of them was highly favored, right? But because of the snow, it like brought them both down to the same level. And like the one team was the home team, and they're fucking not going to win a goddamn game in the season, but they're going to win this one. And the crowd was sitting there the whole time. Nobody moved, no matter how much snow hit. And they pan to the crowd, and these motherfuckers are yelling as loud as they can with just like piles of snow on their heads and stuff. And it's like, wow, I'm glad I'm not there, but what a fucking experience that must be for those folks. That's tremendous, man. Sports, sports are like not kind of mean natured in like in general, like as a whole. But there's these amazing things that can happen that are just like magic, and it happened that night.
Damn. So did that shit team win, or did they lose?
Oh yeah, they won in miraculous fashion. Miraculous. Wow. It was incredible.
They do what a young lion does, and fucking go off like they just won at the Tokyo
Yes,
Dome.
They acted like they won the Super Bowl or the grand finale. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, as you do. Oh my goodness,
that's great. They run around like they're Doki winning at the Dome.
So I've been dying to talk about two things with you. That one of them I really liked. The other one was a movie I watched. Do you want to do that one first, and then we can like talk about something we both thought was really cool?
You're the host of the show, Luke.
Fuck yeah! All right, cool. Oh, we're on podcast. Sweet. Wow. All right. So we watched Gladiator 2, I should say. Mm-hmm. Gladiator, because
Gladiators.
Yeah, even more gladiator than the first one. And I don't know. I know some of what you think, but I don't think we went too in depth because we're going to talk about it right now. But I did say to Charity about 5 minutes in that this was going to have the same plot as the first movie, and it had the exact same plot as the first movie. That's probably why I don't like it as much as the first movie, because it has the same story as the first movie, and it's not as good in telling it.
I mean, like, the good thing about it is Denzel Washington, right? And that's
probably he steals the show. He steals the show.
I mean, the most obvious thing is he's like the bad guy you want to root for. He's fantastic. And so, yes, it's extremely predictable. You know, the good guys win. Oh my God, I can't believe it. You know, and the way that they win, and the people who die, you know, like, okay, so the opening, we get to see our hero, right? And he is in Numidia, which is a horse place. They're known for their cavalry, and so of course they're defending their wall from the Romans without any horses. And it's a naval battle. So it's a naval siege. That's a great scene though, because we get to see the siege engines on the boat and shit. It's really cool, man. I love it. But we meet his wife, you know, main character, Gladiator Jr.'s wife, and I'm like, she is so dead. So dead. Like,
oh, dude. She was wearing a red shirt and everything.
So she was dead meat as soon as you get her. And of course, you know, the guy that we want to root for, Pedro Pascal, is like, kill her, you know, and she gets he doesn't directly kill her, but he orders her death, basically. And so that begins our kind of like hero's quest to get revenge. But what did you think? Like, there's this really stupid thing. A guy who I thought was Tony Toppett is playing Jugurtha, and Jugurtha was destroyed by Marius in 100 BC. And this takes place in 200 BC or 200 AD, 300 years later. So that was weird. That kind of got me like, what? What are we doing here?
He's one of the trainers in Spartacus.
Yes, he's Doctore, you know.
Yeah.
Animaeus. He's a real character in the story of Spartacus from Plutarch and all that too. So
Can you believe that dude's almost 70?
really, man, he looks great.
He looks absolutely amazing. So I was kind of gutted, but he died really early. But I'm like,
I knew he was dead though. Come on.
Yeah.
You know?
Because he was halfway friendly to the main character, Lucius. So anyone who even looked at him with a kind eyes was like executed in some way, shape, or form.
But Lucius is from the first movie. He's the little kid that I don't even know why he cares about him. It's like but it's like the little kid in the first Gladiator. It's like a way for Russell Crowe. It's like his surrogate child. That's the idea.
Way to remind the audience that Gladiator cheated on his wife.
Right, but it's a real,
what a piece of shit.
Kid. But Lucius is already like 7 years old in Gladiator, so it doesn't. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't really understand that. But you're right. It's like he's a piece of shit. You know, it's like fucking Jon Snow, just a living reminder of infidelity.
That's it. Yeah, and he's not a ginger kid anymore. He's a brunette man with a footballer's haircut, which drives me fucking insane.
He looks like Logan Paul, yeah.
He does have that, that haircut.
That bugged the shit out of me, man.
And you see a lot of kids in Australia with those kind of haircuts too. And I'm like, where are they getting these? And then my brother-in-law, who when he comes over, he's just like, oh, can I put the footy on? Yeah, fuck, whatever, I don't care. And then you see all the fucking football players' haircuts. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, that's where they're getting from. Boo.
Yeah, I agree, boo.
Yeah.
You know, it's very silly.
No.
But you didn't like the movie, huh?
Look, only because, like, watching this was like watching The Force Awakens for the first time. I'm like, they're doing the thing again. Oh, they're doing the exact same story. It's like watching Ghostbusters too, right?
Yeah. I like Ghostbusters too.
Yeah, I know. I think you and I might have been too young to see the original Ghostbusters, like at the cinema or something like that.
I didn't see it in the theater,
no. Whereas you and I and Charity all have an affinity for Ghostbusters too, because we would have been old enough. We would have seen the first one on VHS by then, or TV or whatever.
But I get it's looked at as a bad sequel, right? So I get
but also a sequel that does the exact same thing as the original movie did, like beat for beat, just with a different skin on it. Like we're starting with a battle this time, but it's different this time because it's sort of like, it's a sea siege battle. And our hero is against the Romans. Ooh, and he hates what's his name, Pedro Pascal's character. But all I saw Pedro Pascal's character do was see his men getting blasted with arrows and be a good general and go, "Oi, kill that lady now!" Like, there you go. So it blew my mind where like he's hated Pedro Pascal for ages, and now they've got to fight in the arena. It's convoluted as hell. Don't worry about it. They fight in the arena, and just when there's like, I can give the killing blow, I'm giving myself up. They sit down and they have a heart to heart, and he's just like, dude, I'm just a super macho Roman soldier who worked with your dad. You worked with my dad? All right, I forgive you. I'm like, this dude ordered your wife's death, man. Like,
then he gets shot with 1,000 arrows.
Yeah, straight away.
and Lucius is upset. It's like, There's some real dumb shit in the movie. Speaking of arrows, here's one of the dumbest things in the movie. At the very beginning, when his wife gets shot, he dives into the water to save her, but she's already dead, and he breaks the arrow off, and it's like, this is important, and like holds on to it, and then it disappears from the story. And then late in the movie, right before he's about to go at the very end, he has it. And it's like, what the fuck? Where did that come from?
Oh, yeah. Did you know as soon as you saw, like, Gladiator's original like armor, as soon as you saw that you just knew right near the end he's putting that on.
I like that doctor character though. He was great.
Me too.
The side characters were awesome, and I like the Caracalla and Greta or whatever. I like them. I thought they were a lot of fun. My only problem is that we're supposed to hate them, but this is a big problem with the movie, right? And it's like I'm mad at the movie for this, is that halfway through the movie, we have seen nothing that makes them evil. Nothing,
No.
not a goddamn thing, except that they ordered Pedro Pascal to war, which is really a smart move politically, because it turns out if you leave him in Rome too long, he's going to lead an army against you and overthrow you. So let's keep him out of Rome fighting our wars. That's smart politics. And we're expected to think that they're terrible people. Why? Because they're effeminate and weird. Because they're coded gay. So that's a big problem with the movie I'm not happy with the movie about. So
no, and there's plenty of emperors in Rome who aren't effeminate, who are, guess what? Giant warmongering evil pieces of garbage. Like, I'm Trajan. I am considered the greatest emperor of all time. Guess what he did? He expanded the Romans' borders to the furthest point they'd ever been stretched before. He didn't do that being nice. He killed millions of people.
And enslaved them as well.
Yeah.
That,
like, whereas these two guys are just throwing fucking parties and making sure this general who's got lots of power doesn't usurp them. Like, yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. Mind you, so their dad made them both co-emperor, Caracalla and Geta. And not long after their dad dies, Caracalla kills Geta.
What? It didn't work out fine?
No, he had the Praetorian Guards do it because he didn't want to share power. And I'm like, yeah, that's Roman as fuck. Didn't quite... I knew the historical actually was going to be out the ass in this. So I didn't let it get to be like maybe the first one, because maybe it's because the first one had won so many awards and things like that. I had my bit more critical eye on it. It didn't bother me so much. But I thought they were great in their scenes too. So it wasn't their fault. It's not the actor's fault that they're not given the depth. Like, because Joaquin Phoenix, say what you want about that first movie, like he's one of the best actors in that thing. Hands down.
And they gave
made his career.
They gave that part to Denzel Washington in this movie.
Yeah.
So you can't have 3 Denzel Washingtons.
No, you cannot. Dude, he is the best thing. He's like
awesome.
If I was to see interviews with all the actors, right, I'll believe them if they tell me they had a fun time. But watching that movie, Denzel's having the best time of his life playing Macronus, man. He is awesome. Every scene, he steals every scene. It doesn't matter how flamboyant or how macho every character is. He's more flamboyant in that scene, or he's more macho in that scene, or something like that. He's got it.
They put him with like really great character actors too to bounce off of. Like there's a senator that he kind of like gets his claws in, right?
Yeah.
And that guy is fantastic. The scenes between those two are awesome. I've never seen that guy before in my life. I have no idea who he is, but he's like crushing it. He looks so nervous, and Denzel is so intimidating. It's like, man, it's great.
Yeah. There's only 2 actors, I think, that come from the first movie. 3 characters, but only 2 actors. Connie Nielsen, who
she's fine,
barely aged in like 20
years. She looks fantastic.
Holy shit. And so Derek Jacobi, who plays Gracchus, he's in one early scene, and then you don't see him again until he's on the float at the end, and you just see him get quickly stabbed.
I was like, what the fuck, man? What's the point?
Hey, at least he got to be like 80 years old. Like, you know.
Well, there's going to be a director's cut that's like 3.5 hours long, and we're going to see all the different crazy things the emperors did that we didn't get to see and all that kind of stuff. But I did want to point out something interesting that I think is not bad filmmaking. So at the beginning of the first movie, right, we see Maximus, right, Russell Crowe, and he is bummed out about winning this war, right? It's like he's bummed out because he had to kill all these people, but he's also happy he gets to go home, and that's all he cares about, right? That's how Pedro Pascal feels too, all right?
Yeah.
And he's got a little Marcus Aurelius in him a little bit too, and so like that first scene in the first movie is echoed in the second movie by the scene with Pedro Pascal burning all the bodies and being like, well, now I get to go home, see my wife, but I wish I didn't have to do all this fucking shit to do it, but I sure am good at it. See you later.
The role of Pedro Pascal, the role of Russell Crowe in Gladiator 2 is split into 2 characters.
Correct.
And it's Pedro Pascal and Lucius, because Pedro gets to do the Roman general stuff that Gladiator did, and Gladiator Jr. gets to do the Gladiator stuff that Gladiator Senior did.
So there is a scene too where Denzel first shows up in Rome, right? He gets invited because they're going to have all these games to celebrate the general's victories, and he's like, "All right, well, I'm going to bring my guy in, and he's going to fight one of your guys, and we're going to do it right here." And they have like a no-ring death match in front of a bunch of Romans, and the emperors happen to be there or whatever. And so, and fucking Lucius gets Olympic slammed through a table.
Oh, dude.
Yes.
All right, I don't care how realistic it is in any kind of movie genre. I don't care if it's a rom-com, a cartoon, or an ancient Roman pick. I see someone do a suplex or an Olympic slam or any wrestling move at all, I mark the fuck out.
Well, it's fun. I like that.
Because I was just supposed to have a fist fight or something, and then like Geeta's
to the
just
death.
like, nah, to the death.
Right, which is a scene out of every Spartacus ripoff. And that's what this is. So, like, that's the thing. We didn't talk about it the first time we talked about Gladiator 1, but it's a Spartacus ripoff. The whole thing is, right? They even in this movie, they have a scene where like somebody fires an arrow up at the you know, the luxury booth, and they want to know who did it. And the guy's like, "Oh, I did it." And it's like, "I'm Spartacus." No,
I'm Brian. No, I'm Brian. I'm Brian. So's my wife.
Oh, man. I was like, "Fuck you, movie." So there are a lot of "fuck you" movie parts of the movie, but there's also, I mean, there's a naval battle in the, you know, which is absurd. That would never happen. And apparently, like, maybe when they first opened the Flavian amphitheater, they were able to do that to some extent, right? Not like the way they did it here with fucking sharks swimming out of the water and eating people. But because they built all these tunnels underneath there, right? Which you can see if you look at a picture of it now. And before the tunnels, they could hold water, but after the tunnels, no more water, right? So apparently they used to do this shit, though, at man-made lakes. They used to just, like, make a lake and do that, like, out in the field somewhere in the Campus Martius or wherever the fuck. So it's a real thing, but I loved how absurd those action scenes were. I mean, that I was almost like, we could go a little more absurd, you know, just a little bit more. I would have been happy, you know?
I feel like they left the dial at around 7.5 and an 8, and while they all look good and there's lots of exciting shit in it, I feel like what you said, just turn the dial up a little bit. Just crank a little more.
A lot more. If you want, you know, go 11.
Yeah, go 11. Burrio's 11.5.
11.5.
Yeah, use that. Yeah, I feel that way too. I didn't feel that way about the first Gladiator. Like, no matter how I feel about it, all the fights and all that kind of stuff had a really satisfying start, middle, and conclusion that kind of ramped up the stakes and the tension each time pretty damn well. Whereas it didn't quite feel like that. Maybe it's because I bought Gladiator Senior's camaraderie with his boys a lot more than I did Gladiator Junior.
Yeah, he doesn't earn it, does he?
He does not.
Suddenly is commanding an army of rebel fucking gladiators. It's like, okay, a lot of that going on in the movies.
Dude, he manages to convince them all that taking on the Praetorian Guard's probably a good idea. You know what one of the stupidest things you could do in ancient Rome is? Like, decide that you want to take on the Praetorian Guard. Yeah. It doesn't end well for you. Ask multiple emperors.
Right, getting on their wrong side is a bad idea. So
no. Pay us more. No. Well, it looks like we need a new emperor. You going to pay us more? Oh, that's my first thing.
Right.
First thing I do is pay rise to the Praetorian Guard. Come on. Fucking hell.
So do you think that Ridley Scott watched Caligula and was like, those are my emperors, you know, like it's like it was a cross between Nero and Caligula is kind of what they were, and that's not how the actual emperors were, you know, at all. So I find that interesting.
Yeah, if you look at a statue bust or something of Caracalla, he looks more like Gladiator Jr. than he does the guy playing him.
Well, that's because he was the emperor too. So it's like, hey, you know, a little more weight on those pecs. Come on, start.
That's right.
You know. So.
Are you trying to tell me that they lied? Of course they did. Because Augustus would still put up statues and shit that made him look like he was still fucking 25. You know, not like 65. Of course.
well, was it Nero or Caligula that voted his horse to the Senate, right? So in this movie, one at Caracalla elects his pet capuchin monkey a consul of Rome along with Denzel Washington, which is fucked up. And it's like, hey, movie, let's take it easy right there. I didn't like that very much. That was a little.
No, I thought Denzel played that so well.
He was great, but
he's not smart. He's not dumb enough to be like, "Hey, I want to be first consul." No. He'd be like, "Hey, what about your monkey? Hey, and hey, I'll be second consul, not first." Yeah. No, second.
He was manipulating him, but I think that buries Denzel a little bit, having him consul with a monkey.
Oh, dude, he buried himself at the end when he thought he could take on Gladiator Jr. in a sword fight.
What was he doing? And then he was pretty good. I was like, wow, Denzel's pretty good. We've never seen him fight. That was dumb. There should have been a scene where we see him, meticulously training and besting one of the gladiators, because he can do
even
that
Denzel
as well.
is a montage. Montage.
Exactly. Sure, that's in the cutscenes,
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. And then,
like in the late seasons of Spartacus, Crassus shows up, right? And he's a monster at sword fighting. Like, that's all he does is practice sword fighting, because he needs this military victory thing and he's obsessed with it. It's a really good character trait. So when he fights Spartacus or whoever, he's a worthy foe. It's like,
that's right.
Batiitis, he isn't fucking practicing swords. So, or good Salonius, who dies in the arena,
Got to fight Caesar at some point too, Spartacus.
He does. Yeah, see, I forgot Julius Caesar is in the Spartacus show, and he's like, it's the adventures of young Julius Caesar,
Oh yeah, this is the guy who's like, he tells his ransomers, "I'm worth more than that." Gets them to pay the ransom, then comes back with a fucking fleet and destroys them, and then takes the money back for himself.
It's the greatest shit ever. I love it.
Oh my god, what a freaking smart ass that guy was.
That's great.
Far out. Then there's after he whoops Denzel's ass, fucking Gladiator Jr. gives the most uninspired speech, and everyone's just like, yeah.
The Praetorians just like put their swords away. They're about to chop everybody in the pants. You know what? I'm not gonna chop. You know what
happened after Caracalla died? I'm pretty sure it was like the year of the 5 emperors.
Yeah,
and then not long after that, you get the fucking start of the crisis of the 3rd century or something like that. So, which lasts for about 50 fucking years until Diocletian kind of like, tries to patch it all back together, which lasts for a time, So.
Well, This is the fake Roman Empire here. There's no gate
the Roman
to
Empire.
Rome. There's no fucking gate to Rome out in the middle of a field that armies can line up on either side of and face off between.
No. You know what the biggest load of shit is? Like, they doubled down on the Republican storyline of the first movie.
Again.
I'm like, really? That's like, because
what?
That's not what happened.
Why does he care about politics? Why would he care about politics? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. In fact, no one alive now, even like ancient history, is what the Republic is. They don't know what a Republic is anymore.
200 years before it's been
200 years ago. Yeah.
And it's not like the Republic wasn't extremely violent
and corrupt in the first place.
Come on. Like, if we could just vote.
Remember when it's so bad now that only one rich man tells us what to do. Remember when it was like 300, and then they all kept power amongst themselves, and they wouldn't spread anything. And if anything spread, like, we just, they're in the Tiber somehow.
It doesn't make any sense. But
like
that's
the Grackeye boys or something. Like, we want to reform things so it's better for the plebs.
Die! What'd you say?
He wants to help us. Kill him.
Land reform, you motherfucker.
More food for the plebs.
Right. Grain dole. That's it. So.
And then the grain dole happened, and then, so.
So I watched a movie that is somewhat related to what we're talking about, and I don't care if I spoil this for you, but you have got to watch this. It is a flaming pile of shit in like just incredible fashion. It is the movie Megaopolis.
Megalopolis. Yeah.
So it's like Francis Ford Coppola's like, fucking mega opus. All right. This thing is a piece of shit, Luke. And it is like, it's so weird. And it's like somebody had a million ideas and they were like, you know what? I'm going to cut it down to like 100,000, but I'm putting them all in. It makes no sense. Like, for example, the main character, who his name is Caesar, but it's also Cataline. Like, and most people call him Cataline, right? So it's like, that's confusing two things that were opposed in Roman history, right? Two different guys that did different things. So it's kind of like,
might as well call him Hitler Churchill or something.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, not quite the same, but yes, it's like,
it's the first one that popped in.
Like, it's two different people that are not. So the whole movie's like that. But he has like a cousin. His cousin's name is Clodius, and you're like, oh, cool. He's gonna do like Clodius shit, but he doesn't. He tries to have Caesar assassinated, and he gets shot in the face. But Caesar has a magical ability to stop time at the beginning of the movie, and he shows everyone that he can stop time, as you do, and then it never comes up again.
Really? I want to see a scene where he's like, he's looking at their fucking opposing army, and there's a Rubicon right there, and he fucking freezes time, and the Rubicon just stops moving, and then like he fucking crosses that shit.
Okay, yes, but in this movie, he would suddenly be General Patton crossing a river, because it confuses everything. It's like his name is Caesar, but he does things. It's Caesar Cataline, but he does things that neither of those guys would do, right? And it doesn't make any sense. Aubrey Plaza is in it, and she's fantastic. I found her extremely entertaining, but
she always is. But
it's bad. It's real bad. They gave her shit, and like she's trying, and it's like, because nothing makes sense, right? There are scenes where it's like, is this like one of those Shamalama Ding Dong movies with the way the dialogue is? You know how the dialogue is like intentionally bad in those movies? It's like that, where like
it's like M. Night just wrote the script but didn't like read it out aloud to anyone.
He just emailed it off, but
future wife, future husband.
That movie, dude, you should watch it. I think you guys would like it, honestly. I think you and
we both want to watch it.
Like it, because you'll either find it extremely entertaining, or you'll be like, there's some merit to this, because there could be some merit in there, that I didn't see. But I had a lot of fun watching it because it was so fucking terrible. And I was trying, like, my ancient Rome history brain is trying to figure out what he's trying to say and what it means, but it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean what it is.
No.
It doesn't know what it is.
It doesn't. It is.
Right.
It sure is.
Yeah. No, it's on our to-do list. It is. So very, very soon.
You gotta watch that. Yeah. It is terrible. And if you're listening out there, I mean, smoke a J, drink a beer, put that on. You don't have to watch the whole thing. You'll get enough. Just watch 20 minutes, an hour of it. You'll get it. You'll be like, okay, I got it. But it does have a hilarious surprise ending. The whole thing's a surprise. Like, every scene's a surprise, but the ending is a surprise too. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we had Moonfall spoiled for us as well, and we watched that because it's this like really stupid movie where like the moon is falling towards the earth.
Like Ocarina of Time, or what's the one? Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask, yeah. So they got to go up to the moon to kind of like stop the moon from falling. Yeah, it's terrible. The other movie I can remember that Charity and I had spoiled for us, but we watched it anyway, and we thought it was one of the best things we'd ever seen. Was Triple R.
Oh yeah,
have you seen that shit?
Oh yeah, we've talked about it on here.
Of course we have.
Play the Ocarina of Time real quick. Hear that? I memorized that.
Well done. That was absolute.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bliss.
Just call me Caracalla,
That's right. I'm the monkey.
I want to look like
guy, so I'm the monkey, man.
He does not. That's true. You know, man, that poor senator though. What was it? It was Sir Jacoby. What was his name again?
Yeah, so Derek Jacobi.
Man, and he was in Alien again recently, I think, wasn't he?
Dude, that motherfucker's in I, Claudius. Like,
yeah, that's right. Oh man, he's great. He's great.
yeah, no,
he plays Claudius in that, but he's also famous for something else I really like him in. I think he was in he's some sci-fi movie. I don't know.
Yeah, he's also plays one of the best versions of the Master in Doctor Who. So
there you go.
Yeah, so he's wonderful, Mr. Derek Jacobi, or Sir Derek Jacobi, I guess we have to call him.
Well, so in I, Claudius, when Caligula shows up, it's like Malcolm McDowell or somebody, and he's a fucking psychopath. And I think that's where Ridley Scott got all of his ideas for his emperors in this movie. So.
Oh, dude, I said in my review for Gladiator that Gladiator was made by someone who liked Roman movies, not necessarily Roman history.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like it.
Yeah, and that's fine. George Lucas made a career out of loving his adventure serials as a kid and transposing those into like his vision on the screen, both in sci-fi and like old adventure kind of, with Indiana Jones.
Did you see Dial of Destiny?
I haven't.
Man.
Charity and I rewatched the first three,
and
much to my surprise, I think Temple of Doom's the best of the first three.
It's awesome.
I thought it was always like Raiders, and I think in my childhood it is the same with like The Last Crusade as it is with Ghostbusters 2. Like I'll always love that movie, but it's kind of redoing Raiders of the Lost Ark again.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Temple of Doom though, like that was made for kids. Like what the fuck? These people eating all this gross shit. Guy gets his heart ripped out. Fucking awesome.
That is the actual serials that they read. That movie is right.
Yeah.
Whereas the other two are more like broad kind of adventure movies that kind of have to cover all the bases, like Back to the Future or something. So
Temple of Doom's my favorite. But we planned on watching all of them. We finished Last Crusade, and then for whatever reason, we did not continue, and we still haven't. Charity hasn't seen the last two. I'm a little trepidatious. I'm not sure if I should ruin a childhood for her or not.
I don't think it's possible to. I mean,
nah, those movies are classics.
They're just movies, But I'm just saying, like watching a movie can't ruin the past. But anyway, I like Dial of Destiny. I know it's too long. There's a lot of problems. You're gonna hate it, I'm sure. But there's ancient Rome shit that's fucking awesome.
Oh, really?
Awesome. Yes. There's really cool ancient Rome shit that's like, oh my god, I can't believe it's not just ancient Rome shit, it's ancient Greece shit too. Fucking Pyrrhus.
Now you've guaranteed I'll watch it in the next couple of weeks.
I mean, fucking Pyrrhus is involved in the movie. So, and he's one of my favorite ancient Greeks. So
guys, that's where Pyrrhic victory comes from that.
Yeah, man. Guy's awesome. You learn about his history. He was awesome.
Beats the Romans, has no troops left.
He made a lot of mistakes, but all right. He was a strong guy. He was he was like a proto Mithridates too. Because he was a family member of Alexander the Great, and kind of had that same kind of thing going on. So Mithridates loved Pyrrhus.
Man, I bet you Carthage hates Pyrrhus's guts, because he's the guy who's like, oh, we're sitting here right between Carthage and Rome. Oh,
that's right.
Oh, I wonder what happens if these two guys like fight.
Well, Carthaginians are involved in the Dial of Destiny. So
human history ensue. Fucking insane.
If you know about Syracuse and all that stuff, then I mean you're gonna like Dial of Destiny, at least those parts of it. So those are fun.
I like that Punic War shit. That's pretty cool. It's horrifying, and the fucking scale of it is mind-boggling. But it's cool. It's cool to read about.
Dan Carlin, hardcore history, tremendous. He says, he's like talking about the Punic Wars, trying to set up his big series on it. He's like, you ever think about like getting all your neighbors together, going down the street and fighting an elephant hand to hand? That's like what happened in the Punic Wars. So it's awesome.
I want to punch that elephant in the face.
That's right. Well, you go do that. I'll be over here. So. Oh man, I love that.
We should go fight these guys again. They haven't been a threat to us for 30 years. Yeah, fuck it. Let's wipe them out.
The senator is really mad about it. Which, by the way, the Cost of Glory podcast is starting his series on Kato. Kato the Younger. So that's awesome.
Oh, God.
And Kato is great.
What a fucking asshole.
That guy's kind of a, I don't know about the host of that show, but man, the content's really good. So, well.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, no, ancient, well, I guess I'll just blanket Mediterranean shit in Dial of Destiny. That's going to make me interested.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Checking it out sooner.
Yeah. Okay. So here's another problem with Gladiator 2. Sorry. Biremes? These fucking in 200 AD, Rome is rolling around in biremes? Ancient Greeks had triremes. Come on, man. Those boats were bogus. So
it still bothers me every time the emperors are referred to as Your Majesty or something.
Yeah,
like
that was dumb. He only did that a few times, but it stuck me in the ear.
Because, essentially the emperors are kings, but they don't say kings because it's a dirty word in Rome.
Right, you can't. Yeah, exactly.
They don't use that kind of fucking language. Like it's just, it doesn't. But you're right. That's not as bad in this movie. They don't really do that often.
Yeah, I was just kind of pissed that that the ships were so tiny because they would be massive. they'd be like quint reams, like 5 levels of rowers, and they only got two. Although the scenes inside the ship, pretty cool. I like that part of the movie where it was like anytime they were just showing Roman life for a rower or whatever. That was really cool,
But by the way, wouldn't they have controlled enough of Africa at the time to be able to have a land battle?
Absolutely, yeah. They wouldn't attack them.
Like they control all of Egypt and shit by this point, right? Like they have for centuries.
Well, Numidia had already fallen, so it doesn't even.
Yeah, but I know the Romans could do sea battles by that stage, but even still, they're better on land. So they would have just landed somewhere miles away and then just come and whoop their ass. But I guess it's not as cool as seeing siege engines on a boat or something like that.
Yeah, that was neat. I was
happy It is a cool thing. It is fucking gnarly, man.
So Numidia was just inside the gates of Hercules. So just inside the Mediterranean. And they were mostly known for their amazing cavalry that helped. It's funny when who's the Carthage general? But when Hannibal, when he had Numidian cavalry with him, he won. When he didn't, when they weren't work for the Romans, he lost. So, just saying, they were big deal.
Yeah, I don't think we saw a single horse in Numidia at all.
Not a goddamn horse.
Not even a fucking donkey pulling a fucking wagon or some shit.
Right.
Nothing.
There were some horses, but not in Numidia. We didn't.
By the way, two more things I'll mention about Gladiator 2, and we move on. Do seeing Denzel with his pimped out little gold chariot, gold wheels, gold things. I'm like, fucking hell, he's the coolest man in this movie for sure. And I still think the freakiest looking fight in the whole thing is that weird looking monkey fight.
Yeah, where Jugurtha gets his throat ripped out and doesn't even try to fight. He gets jobbed the fuck out by a monkey.
Yeah,
it's not even Caracalla's console monkey.
Tiny monkey, no. My arm's infected, so I give up on life.
That was absurd. That was the first Roman gladiator battle in the arena, and I didn't like that one just because that happened. And also, what monkeys are like that?
Yeah, were these some kind of extinct monkeys? These are the kind of weird creature kind of things that stretch credulity that you might expect to see in a really cool secret part of Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And I don't mind in that because there's all this weird shit going on past and so it fits, and they're always tucked away in these really obscure parts, and they're always really cool little things. That's where you expect to see creatures like that. But
in a video game, not
in a movie, in a fucking video game.
Think about this. So they showed a tiger in this movie in a cage, That's what the tiger did. I mean, they did tigers in the first movie, so why not do lions in this movie? No, monkeys. And then shark. Sharks was cool. So, and a rhino. The rhino was awesome.
Look, they never did sharks, but come on, man. That was cool.
That was cool, yeah. But, I'm just saying, the monkey thing, that could have been lions or something, and that would have been cooler. So.
This has been my favorite part of the whole movie experience, by the way.
Talking about with you.
Because this fun. Absolutely.
Yeah, you didn't like it. You told me it was a piece of shit. So.
Because all its main story beats, including we've got to break him out of jail. They failed to break him out of jail. I'm like, there's all these story beats that they're done better in the first movie, and I'm like, don't do them.
Well, you're foolish for going to Gladiator 2 looking for a story. So I knew, I was going into this. I went to a 9 a.m. showing, which, by the way, half hour of previews, and I saw a preview. This is completely off subject, but I saw a preview for a movie that made me just poop my pants laughing. And it is it's Robin. There's a pop star from Britain named Robin something. It's a man.
All right.
And I don't know much about him, but he's telling his story like never before. And it's a CGI monkey of him. And the movie is his story, but he's a CGI monkey.
Is this the Robin Thicke dude?
Yes, that's it. Yes. That's
the
real.
dude Miley Cyrus twerked on that time. That's him.
Really? Okay.
There you go.
Well,
that's the only thing
I know him
coming
out that I thought was about piss myself laughing. But anyway, I saw I saw it at 9 a.m. and it was the only problem I had with the movie was it was long. That was my only problem. There were a couple they could have cut out the whole thing with his mom. His mom doesn't need to be in the movie at all, except to she could have showed up and been like, "Oh, Lucius, I'm your mother." Da! That would have been the way to do it, right? But they wouldn't bring her back for 3.
Dude, what a boss, Denzel. It's just yeah, I know all my plans have come to fruition, but this lady still needs to die. Pass me your fucking crossbow. fucking pinpoint accuracy. Boom.
They should have killed her way earlier.
Yeah, I agree.
There's also a really funny scene where she has been strapped to a chair to watch her husband get killed in the arena, right? And she is on lockdown. And then we see just the very next scene, she's brought to Lucius's cell and just allowed to walk around free. You just had her strapped to a chair, and now she's just allowed to walk around free? What is this movie?
No, that's
some shit missing. There's a lot of shit missing.
No, it's fine. I think it might have been elevated a bit more if you had someone with Russell Crowe charisma.
They're finding Gladiator Russell Crowe. That's what they wanted.
Yeah, but he's not that great.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, I know that movie made Russell Crowe internationally, but he was already a bit of an Aussie star. By that time, he'd been in some pretty good Aussie movies.
LA Confidential. He was in that movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was 97. Mm-hmm. Romper Stomper, which was an Aussie American History X.
Okay. But
it came out before that.
So was he like a thug character in a lot of those?
Yeah,
movies?
Skinhead type, dickhead. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's, so
bit of a rough
that works
watch,
for him,
but yeah. So yeah, no, he was already a bit of a star down here, but I don't know. I can't even remember this guy's Mescaline. Yeah, that guy. Footy haircut.
So let's see what the box office was for. Let's see how they did. 106 million worldwide.
So bad.
Opening weekend. That's really good nowadays. So I don't know how much the movie costs, but they're going to make money. So Gladiator 3, here we come.
Yeah.
Or let's do Gladiator Son. Oh, it'll be prequel. I would rather see that, honestly. The Gladiator prequel, where it's Marcus Aurelius is young, right? And we could bring back Pedro Pascal. Let him play him. Why not? Denzel Washington's a kid, but we're going to let him play himself as a kid as well. Man, he's dead.
Why not?
Yeah.
It's a shame they killed his character off.
Yeah, I know, right? He was the best one. So, all right, Luke. I'm going to debut a new segment on the Never Open podcast. All right, it's the first time ever, and that is what pedal did Andy buy this time? All right. So today I have a box that arrived. It's funny. Yep. It says it's still not delivered. It's fucking sitting right there when I got home. I was worried. My delivery guy's name is Leroy. Apparently he didn't mark it delivered, so that's upsetting. But I have. Is he
Leroy Brown, the baddest cat in the whole damn town?
Yes, that's who delivers my pedals. So this is from Fort Wayne, Indiana. So let's see what we got here. I know it's 2024. I know how popular unboxing videos are right now. They're hot. They're the hot thing, right? So
especially for people listening to this rather than watching it.
Yeah. Oh, what do we got here? A little thank you from Sweetwater. They give you a sticker too, so you can advertise for free.
Sweetwater sounds like the city in Saints Row.
It's true.
Oh, it's Stillwater.
They also give you candy because they're called Sweetwater, and it's always bunk ass candy, honey, like bit of honey and Mary Jane. Although
you mean like fucking grandma candy?
Yes. They got some Smarties in there. So, oh, what's this?
Fucking toffee.
This is the Andy Timmons Robert Keeley Halo. What is this doing in my house?
You got the Master Chief pedal.
You know what? That's a joke that people make all the time about this pedal. Oh
you know what you got to play when you use that pedal?
You are making a joke that the people all make about the pedal.
Yeah, well, you know. This was the funniest time it was made, though, like by me, because now it's in an Aussie accent.
I think it was pretty funny. Aussie accent makes everything funnier. So what we're gonna do is that for the segment, this is the Halo pedal, and it makes a halo around your guitar tone. And it's actually a delay, but it's like a quarter note dotted eighth note delay, but it also does 5,000 other things. So what we're going to do, unfortunately, we're going to dethrone the MXR Dynacomp, which is a classic pedal, but this is a fucking beast right there. I mean, it's stereo. Look at those inputs. Look at those outputs, Luke.
You should definitely pedal. Dude, you should definitely put the Halo next to Saint Wharf.
There he goes.
We praise to thee, Saint Wharf. And here is your Halo guitar pedal.
Well, there it is.
He's looking at us there in that photo going, this pedal has lots of honor.
It is definitely honorable. I mean, the Dynacomp is very honorable as well. It's maybe arguably more honorable because it's already earned the honor. But the Halo is going to earn a lot of honor for me. And look to my blue sky at Drews for Tweets, I think, on Blue Sky. I don't know. And you can find me there and see videos of me playing the Halo pedal. So that was, which pedal did Andy buy this time?
Yeah. Oh, never podcast. That's it. Are you freeze framing? That's all right.
No, I was just making a joke.
That's man, that was really cool.
Very important that we do that. I mean, I did get a sticker. You know, Robert Keeley sent me a sticker personally. We have a Keeley guitar pick as well that came with it for the playing, picking and the grinning. There's little like rubber feet that came with it, although I already have the rubber feet. I mean, right next to me, I have all the rubber feet you could ever want. I got rubber feet coming out.
You could deal with the rubber feet.
So many rubber feet. So,
what is this rubber feet? What is this?
Well, Luke, let me explain the rubber feet. So when you get a pedal, it's made of metal usually, and on the back, it's very slippery. So when you step on it, it goes sliding around. But if you put the rubber feet on there, it ain't going anywhere.
Right. See, that's obviously something a guitar pro or anyone who knows anything would know.
I am a pro at buying pedals. That's for sure.
That's right.
Very cool. Yeah. So
that was guitar pedals on your bike as well. I imagine.
Yes, I have them on my bike. It's a one-wheel bike or two-wheel bike, but one's really big, like Prisoner.
Right. Oh, penny farthing.
Yep, that's the one.
Nice. Old-timey bikes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, did you want to talk about something like we both thought was awesome? Because we've both seen it now.
Like the Halo pedal?
Yeah, of course.
We talked
Might have seen one about our boy Colin Farrell, because I watched all of Penguin. Okay. It's I guess the nice thing of not having to watch World Tag League. I actually get to watch some stuff that I might not have gotten to because wrestling. New Japan's always prime time-ish on TV.
So how did you come to this show, Luke? Where tell me about your arrival at the show. And the decision to watch it,
Some annoying prick from Ohio wouldn't shut up about it till I eventually watched it. And I was a bit nervous too because, all right, don't say anything. Just let me finish here. I didn't like Rogue One that much. And then I watched Andor and I didn't gel with that either. And I don't like the movie, The Batman. It is my most watched review. You can all check it out. I don't like that movie. So I was like, man, it would suck if this show was like, another Andor-y thing for me. But, I watched all 8 episodes in 2 days. So I told Andy everything. I was like, I'm watching this. Oh, my God. And there's only one episode that I didn't gel with. And it's like a framing device that they decided to use that I've never gelled with. So it's not the show's fault. I don't like flashbacks. I never have. They use it a little later on as well. And I don't know. I like there to be a bit more imagination and ambiguity with what happens before the first scene of a show. Like, meaning like I want to imagine what happened, not be shown and told like kind of what happened. Like that's just how my brain works. Like let it be a little bit of a mystery. Like these events happened, but it was before the show started. But other than that, like episode 5, I was quickly back on board, and then episode 6 had like one of my favorite cliffhangers of the whole fucking show. All they do is open cans, and it's the fucking bee's knees. And yeah, I have nitpicks, but I watched all 8 episodes in 2 days, so that's what I think of my nitpicks, really. So, you don't watch a whole series and just not let go of those things, right? So, just let me get this nitpick out because, like, at the end of the day, it didn't bother me. Like, I made jokes about it, but that's about it. But as things escalate in a TV show, things need to escalate. That's fine. Even a movie, everything needs to escalate. Now, the problem with this show is it's set in Gotham, so when things escalate to epic proportions, you're just like, all right, come on, man, where's Batman? Batman should be here by now. So other than that, I think you did me a solid by telling me straight up, don't expect him, he's not turning up.
Yep.
And that allowed me to just kind of be like,
I mean, he does.
Yeah. There's a signal at the end, but
which is perfect.
It did it. Yeah. Because you don't. I guess the thing is, you don't call Batman when you call him when the shit's really epically. It's a clusterfuck, really. Like, yeah.
So I have a question for you. So you messaged me early, like in the first episode, and you said, "Oh, Victor's a fucking dead meat character. He's gonna stab him in the back." At any point did you forget that?
Yeah, big time.
You did. Awesome. The success. The show succeeded because it made you forget that he was going to turn on Victor. Awesome.
Like, I think the only time I suspected was like right as it was about to happen. So like that, and that doesn't count as me guessing it. Like if you guess something 2 seconds before it happens, I'm like, come on, man, that doesn't count as you guessing it, man. It's not. It doesn't really count. So only if you're like. But I said to you in episode 1, man, this guy's lucky to be alive.
And I was like,
I read an interview that Colin Farrell found that just absolutely brutal to film because he was saying that, like, when he plays bad people or when you watch something like this, there's always a way in where you can kind of sympathize with that character because, everyone's kind of got a path to redemption. Except this show got the memo that the Penguin is a Batman villain and all Batman villains are fucking pieces of shit. They are the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. And they're all fucking smart and they're all fucking just dastardly and shit. So I thought that scene of him killing Vic at the end wasn't just shocking, but also absolutely in character for a character.
Well, and like the fact that he didn't kill Sophia. You know what I mean? He didn't kill her, but he killed Vic.
Because he wants Sophia to suffer.
Right. It's just awesome, man.
He's fucking evil. That's what Batman villains are, man. Like, if this whole movie was to be like, Penguin was great in the movie, but he's hardly a credible Batman villain.
He's
the
we can
fucking
see.
kingpin of Gotham now, mate.
Right.
That's like,
And we were talking about how he's Julius Caesar because he
dude.
he
And
relies on
Crassus
like
kind of as well.
he relies on getting in position and getting in luck, and like the moves he's made. And it's like, how many times did Vic save him? How many times did somebody else step in right on time? You know what I mean? It's because he manipulated them all. He's like a genius with manipulation because his mother was. And they manipulated each other, and there's all this shit with the mom that's awesome. I do want to point out something about a flashback. So I watched one of the episodes I watched with my sister. She was on like I thought it was the finale, but it was the one before it. And there's a bunch of flashbacks in that, and it's the guy from Sons of Anarchy. I am the Proby, and he's like, and he's trying to get them, these memories out so they can manipulate the Penguin, right? That's the whole point. Well, they did a really cool thing, is that they're doing all these flashbacks, and we've seen the younger version of Penguin's mom, but the older version is usually in all the flashbacks. And I didn't notice it the first time I watched it. The second time I watched it, I was like, oh my God, it's the old lady is in the flashbacks. Wow. But it's actually that actress instead of the young person who it had been the whole time. And
I like that way of doing it.
Well, it clued me into the fact that she was getting, brainwashed. Yeah. And that was the only comic booky thing, like superpower type thing in the whole show, was that he had some light. There are only 4 lights kind of thing.
4 lights.
And it manipulated her. But I loved that. I loved it.
I found that fucking terrifyingly creepy as well. I was like, fuck you, Sons of Anarchy. Theo Rossi, I think his name is. He's great. He managed to make himself look like a credible kind of shrink dude, but also absolutely terrifying when because he's using those fucking Arkham level skills.
Fucking, he is a doctor from Arkham.
Yeah, he's a fucking bad news piece. Yeah, but they couldn't manipulate Penguin because are we gonna cut your mum off? Admit it. No, we'll do it.
That was the moment, right? That was the moment when he turned heel. We're rooting for him the whole show. And then when they're like, I'll cut your mom's finger off, she's bleeding. And he's like, I didn't kill my kid. I didn't kill my brothers. Fuck you. That's when you as an audience turn on him. And that's when he starts killing people. And it's like, oh my God, fuck you. It's great.
It's fucking awesome. And like Caesar, he inspires loyalty because he's in the trenches with his soldiers, because that gold summit, they're like, why should we follow you? Like, I put my life on the line for this. I'm right here. I'm in the thick of it. I'm not leading from behind. I'm right there leading the charge. So, oh my God.
There's a scene in that show I will never forget. Never. And it was, the Penguin takes Victor out to a nice restaurant. You tell he's never been to a nice restaurant. He doesn't know how to act, right? And this is all manipulation. And that's why it's great, is that Victor has a stutter. And so the waiter comes up and is like, ask him what he wants to eat. And Victor's like, well, I want, and the waiter's trying to help him just by finishing his sentence. If you ever talk to someone with a bad stutter, it's difficult not to just try to complete their sentence, but that's the wrong thing to do. And so the Penguin's like, hey, don't do that. The man is trying to talk. Don't do that. And it's fucking awesome. And that is when Victor's loyalty is unquestioned after that scene, because he's, that's the whole thing you're talking about, where the Penguin is the man of the people, right? So he's a populare, he's a man of the people, and he's showing this highfalutin waiter, fuck you, we're the people, it's like, it's a solidarity thing that's like, it builds as the show goes on. And I love Colin Farrell, but I don't recognize him at all in this. And it's like, I don't care. He disappears into the makeup and the character, and it is amazing. And yes, it's a lot like Tony Soprano. If you like this kind of character, watch The Sopranos. It's like the best show ever with this kind of character in it. And they borrowed a lot from that show. But you said that this is what the Penguin is like when someone is good as writing him, is what you said, I believe.
Yeah. I've seen people say that like it bears very little resemblance to the comics, and I'd say there's some truth in that. You might be disappointed if you're on a lot of comic booky shit. I did keep joking to you. I was like, can he just stab someone with the pointy end of an umbrella just once? I'm not expecting him to go wah, wah, wah. I don't want that.
Hey,
that'd
at
be
least
stupid.
His like place was by the zoo at least, so you know.
Yeah. But when he's written well, he plays everyone, including Batman. He's got all the angles, and he's also the greediest motherfucker in the room. Like, and that's Penguin. That's what he does. And he's underestimated because like he's well, I guess some club-footed ugly man or something. Like, because he's a real ugly looking dog. What, he doesn't have a brain, he said, or something like. Everyone underestimates him, and his genius plan. Like at the summit, he's not really talking to the gang leaders. He's talking to the fucking seconds in command.
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
him.
Yes,
we're never given a fucking shot.
It's awesome,
oh my god,
right?
It's awesome. They just opened the cans. It's just like, it's so good, dude. And I didn't even know Clancy Brown was in it. So as soon as I see him, I'm like, what the? The Kern is in this, everyone.
He even says his Kern line too.
It does.
Great. It's awesome.
Oh
yeah, man. God. That show is fantastic. It has, so I heard it was good. Like, and then I watched the first episode. That was after the first episode was out. So I watched the whole thing as it came out, and I couldn't believe how good it was. I was like, what? Why isn't everything at least trying to do that? You know what I mean? It's like, why don't you at least try to be good? And man, that show just succeeded. Fantastic. I loved it. Glad you liked it.
That show felt like it was setting up the board of, all right, we're getting rid of the old guard style of gangsters, and we're starting to introduce the fucking crazies. You know, the Batman villains, like the real insane kind of criminals. The ones that just don't play by the rules, they don't care, and they're just, you know, insane.
What do they call his like group of villains? Is it Murderers Row, or what's I can't remember what Batman's group of villains is called. It's like
Rogues Gallery.
Rogues Gallery. That's it. Yeah, that's what's going on here. Well, so that did set up Batman 2 or the Batman 2. Luke, will you go see the Batman 2 if Colin Farrell's in
it?
Yeah. They gotcha. And that's
he's
good.
My boy.
That's good art, you know. So
he's my boy. Yeah. But see, that's why I was like, I don't want to watch this show and be like, oh, it's by the makers of the Batman. I didn't like that. I want to like Colin Farrell stuff because he's great. But no, it wasn't like that for me. As I said, 2 days I watched the whole thing. And
yeah, like you start texting me at like 6 p.m. my time, and by like 9 p.m. the next night, you're like, I'm done. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was sick for a lot of last week as well. So was definitely just, I was able to kind of get in the zone. And I like seeing my favorite shit done well. And I love Batman and Batman's world. And the Penguin, man, that's got to be the coolest version of the Penguin there's ever been. Like,
yeah.
And if you watch it and feel like this isn't the Penguin from the comics or something like that, I'd say, nah, he's in there. But also, this is setting him up to be that guy. Because I don't mean the wah that kind of guy, but like you see him at the end, he's in his nine tails, and he's the boss. That feels very Penguin to me, right? And rubbing shoulders with high society and things like that, right? They got it. Like, this is his origin story. Come on,
he's
man.
Gonna be like the mayor of Gotham or some shit, right? I mean, like he's gonna be
control him,
right? Yeah. So, or the secret mayor.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what happens. I heard that Colin Farrell hated doing the show so much that he wasn't going to do the makeup ever again. But then it turns out that that's not the case. He's just setting up Batman 2, and I don't know where that rumor came from. So I'm sorry I started it.
No, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't put a lot of stock in these sometimes, but I'd put some gold trophies in Mr. Farrell's hand for this.
Yeah.
Right?
He's great, man. We've talked about him a lot on this show. Now,
but everyone's great in that show. Like, he steals the show because it's his show. It's named after. It's his show. But Christina Milioti, who plays Sophia, is fantastic.
She's awesome.
You got a guy who's the bald dude that we've seen play like CIA agents all over the place. You know that guy?
Yeah.
He's really good. He's in Jack Ryan playing a CIA agent with the guy from The Wire and the guy from The Office. That's a good show, by the way.
Okay.
But I feel like they ended it too soon because, like, I don't know. They just kind of rushed the end. But other than that.
Luke, if you like Colin Farrell, I'm begging you to watch a show, all right? But it has a twist that I cannot tell you. It has a, like, world-shattering twist in it that I cannot tell you about because it's part of the viewing experience. It's a show called Sugar. There's only, like, 6 episodes, I think. And if there's a season 2, I will eat my hat. So, but it was on like I don't know, Showtime or some shit, and it's just called Sugar. It's a PI like detective story starring Colin Farrell, like kind of film noir type thing, and it's a series with 6 episodes, and it has a twist in it that is like what?
Right.
It's awesome. I don't know. I don't know if it's good. I enjoyed watching it. I don't know if it's good. You know what I mean? It's got Holly, who was on the Office. She was Holly on The Office, and I think she was Beatty on
Holly?
The Wire. She was Beatty
yeah.
on The Wire, so she was fantastic in it, and the acting's fantastic. It's just a show that's like, what's going on here? Oh, that's what's going on here. Well, huh.
Right.
Somebody else has to watch this so I can talk about it. I don't know anyone that's watched it, but I watched that. That was the other Colin Farrell thing that I watched this year. That was pretty good, so I enjoyed it.
Man, like it's not just you can't recognize him, and like it's really hard to ugly that man up too. Sorry, man crush there.
That's true.
He's awesome.
He's a beautiful man. It's true.
He's hard to ugly him up. They did it. They manage it, but his movements too, like everything. He's got a bung leg, so he's got this kind of waddle about him. I guess that's Penguin. There you go. There's Penguinish there. He's there. The character is in there. This is what he, biggest piece of shit that will double cross everybody at the stroke of a hat in order for him to get power or monetary gain. That's the Penguin. Yeah, of course it is.
I really like Danny DeVito as the Penguin. I thought that was
it's like iconic. Yeah,
genius. And I don't know if you know this, but his father is Pee Wee Herman in the movie.
Really?
It's like, yeah, absolutely. If you go back and watch it, Paul Rubens is the father as they throw the baby down in the water like he's Moses.
Oh, no shit.
I love how he has a Moses story. Only instead of just being discovered by Egyptian princesses, he's discovered by penguins.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Those movies were made by someone who liked Batman cartoons and the 60s Batman show, but not necessarily Batman comic books. They're great though. I like those movies.
I love those, man. It's so fun. Yeah, if you could take like just make him the villain and nobody else, because they always would pack in 3 villains, right? And that was always the problem with those movies as they went on, and they added Robin and took him away, and then
I feel like the most comic booky Penguin got was that episode 4, because Falcone being the actual Hangman is like right out of one of the Batman comic books. So like as soon as this storyline was introduced, I'm like, all right, well, it's Carmine, let's move on. I'm like, oh, we're doing 50 minutes on this. Okay.
It doesn't matter really, right? You
got Mark Strong playing it. I'll give it to you. He's in the Batman as well, but Mark Strong, I think he's underrated. Like they don't give him roles where he needs to act. This is one of them, like where he gets to kind of flex a bit, because usually he's more action movie villain rather than kind of a bit more of a nuanced gangster villain, if that makes sense. He's the kind of dude that someone more famous than Scott Adkins might karate kick in the face or something.
Okay, it's interesting. He is the Emperor. The Patich, like Carino Emperor in the new Dune series, which I watched the first episode.
Oh, really?
I have not watched the second episode yet, but it is available. So I really, really like the first episode. I'm fired up about it but man, I was watching it thinking, would Luke like this? A lot of talking. Whole lot of talking. Not much else. So if you want to get into space politics, that is the show to watch because it's going to be a bunch of space politics. But if you don't, then I don't know.
Do you like the Kevin J. Anderson books too, or are they like anathema to you? Like
Kevin J. Anderson,
him and Brian Herbert, like Frank's son.
Yeah,
I've written a whole bunch of print. Yeah,
I didn't read those. I read the main core series, maybe one of theirs. I think I stopped after God Emperor of Dune. Like the story ends at God Emperor of Dune.
Yeah,
it's done. But then they keep going, or they do prequels or something like that. This movie or this show is about yeah, exactly. This is the show about kind of like the Bene Gesserit, how they gained power in politics, kind of. That seems what it's about, but it promises to have some cool shit. I mean, a child gets murdered in the first episode, and it's like, yeah,
sold. So, I'm sold.
They made me want this kid to get murdered, so I was pretty happy with it. But yeah, he is of course the Carino Emperor or whatever.
You just make me think of it. I'm just thinking still Penguin is like, you better tell us what we want or we're going to shoot this kid. And he's just like, shoot him.
Yeah. Go ahead and shoot him. See if I can.
Yeah, so Sophia shoots him and Penguin's like, and?
Sophia, tremendous, right?
Yeah, dude.
Tremendous. Like, what a performance. I mean, she got put over so strong on that show. I really liked it. Really liked it.
Yeah. No, so there'd be, I don't know. This is what I want from like these guys doing Batman. This kind of shit. This is what I want.
They did it. They did.
But
I like the Batman. But
now, can they do it for me with Batman? Well, I feel like I'd watch the second movie now because they've gotten some goodwill back with this. If they can entertain me for 8 hours, then hopefully they can give me a 3-hour Batman movie that's at least solid.
That's the frustrating thing about these studios, though. It's like, you know how to do it. Why didn't you do it? Like, and it's like, I know that, a movie, TV show, whatever it is, a million like planets have to align for it to go right. I get it, but like, how to do it.
Yep.
Why not just do that?
Yeah. No. Oh man. Yeah. So, no, that's a complete win for me. I don't care if we just spoiled it. Watch that show. It's fucking fantastic.
We didn't spoil the emotions.
You don't even need to have seen the movie, to be honest, because I didn't rewatch it or anything.
No, I don't think I'll ever watch that movie again. I liked it a lot, but it's like one of those movies that you watch and you're like, I don't need that anymore. By the way, in that movie, they spam the fuck out of this Nirvana song, Something in the Way, right? And it's like constantly going on, which I like, but goddamn, they overuse it. It's constant. In this, in the Penguin, they did a different Nirvana song. They're like at that bar, at the very end and everything, where there's like a jazz band. They're playing a Nirvana song.
Oh yeah.
So there's a bunch of cool like little nods to the Batman that make me go, you know what? The Batman's not so bad. It's got the Penguin rub now. So
it does have the Penguin rub. It's funny. Like I would. I don't know. If you had a cast Colin Farrell's Bruce Wayne, I totally would have bought that too.
That's true. He would have been great.
Right? Who cares if he's in his 40s or whatever now? What
a twist would that be?
We had Affleck being almost 100 being Batman. Colin Farrell would nail it.
But I feel like that would be an amazing twist, that the Penguin is actually Batman. So,
yeah. All right.
Ever done that in the comics?
I don't know who your favorite Batman villains are. So, the Batman 2, what villains would you want? All right, Penguin's got to be somewhere involved.
That's it. Done. You're done. You don't need any more villains.
Dude,
get a politician. Yeah. So your secondary villain's a politician. Done. That's it. No more.
I'd be happy with that, actually. Yeah. But that's not what they're going to do. There's going to be another villain, and there's plus Catwoman. And other stuff. So
that was fuck up Catwoman. It's so easy. You know, it's like, I don't know. There's like a cartoon that does it really well. I don't know if it's Batman the Animated Series or if it was Batman Beyond, but one of those Selena Kyles is just fantastic, and that's the one.
I
You
wouldn't
know?
do Joker, but I'd have Batman stop something in a chemical thing, and some dude falls into it, and that guy will be the Joker in the next movie or something.
Didn't they? I didn't watch the most recent Joker movie because I don't need to, and I don't want to. But I heard that was like the idea is that everyone's the Joker, or the guy in the cell with that guy with Wackoff Phoenix is the Joker, or it could be anybody. So it'd be really cool if
Aren't
the
they
Joker.
separate?
I'm sorry.
Aren't those movies separate?
You know that more than me. If they're separate, great. I just assume that the Joker movies would then end up with the Batman movies. But my point being that, well, it doesn't matter now. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that it would be really cool if the Joker wasn't one person. If it was like a bunch of people. You know what I mean? That would be kind of cool. No one's ever done that. So
no, probably not. But I don't know. I also
Nolan.
I know Nolan used him, but just considering how psychological Penguin was, Scarecrow's a fucking no-brainer, right?
Yeah, I thought that the doctor guy.
I thought Theo Rossi was going to be.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be Scarecrow.
Yeah, so, I expected him to call him Dr. Crane at any moment, but no, it was Dr. Rush. Yeah, because his name is Crane. I can't remember his first name. Okay,
I didn't know. It's like Jebediah Crane or something.
Might be actually, yeah.
Something silly like that. I can't remember. I really like so he shows up in the Christopher Nolan Batman at like the beginning.
Yeah, and Cillian Murphy from Peaky Blinders.
He's great, right? And it's like one of those scenes where like the fake Batman are trying to fight him. It's really funny. And I love that scene because it's so serious and it's fucking stupid. That was a good scene. And that was one of the only good scenes in The Dark Knight Returns. I think that's it.
I like it. Dark Knight Rises.
Rises, that's the one.
Scarecrow's pretending to be a judge now. He's banging the fucking gavel.
He's banging the gavel.
He's in all three. I think Nolan likes him because he obviously Oppenheimer and
he's right.
Oppenheimer and all that kind of stuff. So
I didn't watch the Oppenheimers.
Me neither. I watched Barbie.
I did. I went to the movies and saw the Barbies. And it was
Luke,
fun.
do you want to go to the movies to have fun for 2 hours? Yeah, I do. All right, I'll watch Margot Robbie looking absolutely gorgeous for 2 hours. Let's go. What about Oppenheimer? I'm sure it'll be good, but nah,
not interested. Not
interested. I didn't feel like being bummed out like for 2 hours, man. I was like, I understand why people will watch that, but nah, I'm good.
I don't have like happy thoughts about nuclear weapons. Like I have pretty like brutal, like terrible thoughts about nuclear weapons. So when I was a kid, there was like we were still ducking and covering and shit. We were still worried about like Russia bombing us and stuff. I mean, we might still be, but it was like I remember having like nightmares as like a 5-year-old being like that nuclear war is about to happen. And my parents my dad, he said a lot of shit to us that we shouldn't have said. Why is a 5-year-old worried about nuclear weapons? Well, somebody told him about them. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, or either that, or he made you sit down and watch War Games with Matthew Broderick or something.
Hey, I like that.
That's a good movie.
That was fun.
Is that John Hughes? I can't remember.
Props.
It's an 80s movie featuring a young Hollywood actor. It's obviously a John Hughes film.
What's your favorite John Hughes movie?
Ooh. It's Weird Science.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Kind of sexist, Luke.
Oh, well, I saw it as a kid, but I also like you're right. But who doesn't want to fucking like make Kelly LeBrock out of a magazine?
I know. I did too.
Yeah. But no, it's probably Ferris. It's the most cliched answer of that, or Breakfast Club or something, is it? But I really like Ferris. It's the one I remember the most without ever having to see it again. You know what I mean? Like
that's fair.
A sign of boring for me is the Bueller teacher, like all that kind of stuff. So
It created film shorthand, right? That movie did in a lot of ways. There was a lot of really cool things from that movie that continue in film today. But Uncle Buck.
Oh, that's right. That is John Hughes.
But Uncle Buck. That's probably my favorite
John Candy,
John Hughes
baby.
movie.
Yeah.
I love John Candy, man.
Who doesn't like John Candy? Seriously.
We used to go see all his movies when I was a kid. If John Candy had a movie, we were going to see it. If it was like not rated R, because they weren't taking me to the rated R movies.
Yeah.
But man,
we either saw John Candy movies or Dad was hiring them out.
Dude, I saw Who's Harry Crumb in the theater.
Do you have a favorite Candy movie?
Gosh,
I like the planes, trains, and automobiles.
That one's fantastic. Man, I don't know.
It's too hard, isn't it?
I love John Candy. Like, he was so good. I really like him in Uncle Buck. That's probably when I first latched onto him. Yeah. Just because he's so fantastic in that movie. But I'd have to think about it a little bit. I like what's the movie where they join the army? It's not in the army now, but it's like, that's Effect Jack. Like that whole thing with Bill Murray. That one I really like.
Stripes?
Yes, Stripes is great. I can't think of other John Candy movies right now.
He was was John Candy in like the only comedy movie that Steven Spielberg ever made, 1945 or something?
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was not a good movie.
He never made another comedy again, did he?
It's real bad.
I respect that though. Like the guy was flexing, it didn't work. All right, let's go make Indiana Jones instead.
Yeah, absolutely.
No man. So, have you seen Duel? His first movie? That's so good.
Oh yeah, Duel. So Duel is a TV movie, basically. Yeah. It stars some guy that you're like, oh, that guy, and he's one of these guys that you've never seen without a mustache. No. It's like, and the movie is about a guy who's driving across the country, and I can't remember why, some family reason, and a trucker is stalking him, but he's the only one that really seems to notice, and it just keeps hyping up and getting more like, it is terrifying. It's a tremendous horror movie. I love that movie.
Yeah. There's two kinds of trucks we don't like. If there's one driving really fast, we'll let it overtake us. That's all right. We've seen Duel. Get out of here. And also, because of Final Destination, I think it's the second one, when you see like trucks logs on the fucking back of it. And
right. Yeah.
Or bars or something. Like, you're just like, I'm getting the next lane over here. I've seen Final Destination too. Like, everyone who saw that movie.
I do have an answer for you, though, for the John Candy favorite movie. There's a movie starring John Candy where he plays the writer.
Spaceballs.
He's also in that. God damn, he's
I know.
Wolf or whatever.
His body of work is just fucking insanely good, isn't it?
So this movie nobody knows about. It's awesome. It's great. It's called Delirious. So what it is that he is the writer of a soap opera, and he's in love with the star, right? So one day he wakes up and everything he writes happens. And that's the premise. And it's awesome. So it's really funny because John Candy was this big fat guy that could play the lead man role.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what he does. He writes himself into the lead man role of the show. And
Jack Black, but better.
It's great. Yes. I like it.
Man, why do all those really charismatic, really good fat guys, why do they all die?
It's better to burn out
than fade away.
Yeah, fade away. That's why. So.
Thank you, Kern. Dude, he's still like that most terrifying scene ever where he's just going joyriding with someone. And he doesn't give a shit about traffic lights or nothing. He's going to survive this. It's like, fuck it, let's go.
There's a nun walks up to him and he grabs her hand and licks her and he licks her face. Oh man, the Kern is he's the best. I love him.
One of the best villains, man. He was so fucking good. Oh man, I'm glad we got to talk about Gladiator and the Penguin. Yeah, actually came armed with up-to-date current shit that I've watched, rather than let me tell you about something else that I've watched that's 90 years old. Actually have something new that I watched. It happens sometimes, everyone.
Hey man, I've watched a lot of shit. Football, of course, and then all kinds of other stuff. I'm there's a show I've told you about called From. It's so bad. It's like Lost, but it just never ends. It just ended the third season, and I have no idea what's going on. It's like 3 seasons in, and I'm like, could you give me one answer? Just one, please. But they'll just kill people off, and then you never know. So it's like that's what it is. It's a bizarre show, but man, it's fun to watch. I like it. So Traitors Canada season 2 is going on right now.
I'm up to episode 6, and this is absolutely, without a doubt, the dumbest bunch of faithfuls I have ever seen. Even the dude who is so obviously a traitor, that's Michael John, they can't even fucking like band together to get him out. I'm like, what chances do you have of getting the other 2 out who are legit really good at this when you can't even get like the dude who might as well have a fucking sign like he's a cartoon character, you know, like going like, it's me, I'm a traitor, dude, like me. No, and then they just the way they attack each other on the round tables. I'm like, you guys, like Kira serves Michael John up on a silver platter, and they vote a faithful out. That's it.
That's so stupid. I love it. It's so fun, and like there is a female Sam from Australia season 2 or whatever, and I mean she has a unknown advantage, and her advantage is an advantage over another player in a way that is not fair. So she is the sister of one of the faithful, right? But he doesn't know she is a traitor, and she is working him, brother. And it is like, it's one of the most devious like traitors I've ever seen. Almost as bad as Sam, like kind of on that same level. And I want her to get fucked over so bad. I want her to last to the very end and then get fucked over. Please.
Dude, the fucking idiot Michael John buys a shield he doesn't need for $5,000.
Idiot.
He's exposed big time, and they still voted out a faithful. Like,
because they don't like each other. So. And they all hate the black guy. They all hate the black guy immediately. They're all like, oh, Cedric, he sure is a traitor. It's like, why? Because he's a black guy? And you're like, that's kind of why. It happens a lot on the traitors. So it's terrible.
This guy's really annoying. And I'm thinking to myself, are they... I mean, like, maybe it's different when you're there, but going by what I'm seeing, Cedric's fine.
He's a nice guy. He's just outspoken, and they don't like it.
No.
Not like it.
The freaking kindergarten teacher, Laurie, who's white as hell, has got like, he annoys me. He has to go.
Yeah.
Like, all right. Mm-hmm.
Now, there is a wrestling connection to the season because we have Gail Kim on the season. And there's an episode where she gets put in a cage. I don't know if you've seen that one yet.
Oh, yeah, I have.
You saw the cage episode. And it amounts to absolutely nothing.
No. Every opportunity, they're like, all right, Michael John, what do you want to do? I want Gail Kim out. Why? Because I want her out. Dude, like they even spell out to him why he's a bad traitor. They're like, who do you want to eliminate? These 3 people. Oh, let me guess, because they mentioned you? Yeah. Well, wouldn't eliminating them draw attention to you? I want them gone. I'm like, all right. And then she's like, fine.
Strategy.
No, yeah. He's not getting it. And this is over halfway through the season, and he's still there.
And they still haven't voted out a traitor at all.
Not a single traitor. No.
It's so funny, man. It's so funny. The devastation when they're all sure. Well, okay, so maybe that's something that's different about this season, is that none of them are sure, and they admit it. So they're just voting for whoever. I think you are, because of the thing, that look you gave me or something. You winked at the door, and the door means traitor or something. It's just it's always nonsense. And it's funny because sometimes they'll say, well, I don't have anything solid on anybody, so I can't vote this way. I'll vote this way because I don't like them.
Oh yeah, but until they get banished or something like that, then they're like, I love everyone I've met here. Right. I hope we all become great friends. I wouldn't say that.
Well, what'd you say, Luke? Luke,
I'd be like,
you have received the most votes tonight. Are you a faithful or are you a traitor?
Yeah, I'm faithful, and it was really nice meeting you. Not so much the other ones. Bye.
You're cool. You're cool. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out.
Yeah, that's right.
I like it.
Yeah.
Mr. Nice Guy.
That's right. Everyone's too sportsman. Like, come on, man.
Well, Luke, no one wants to know what I would say. So,
Well, what'd you say?
I don't know.
You would say, I am the weakest link. Goodbye. Did you ever have that show?
Yes.
I got the price right. Yay.
That show was the host, right? Or the hostess, I guess, in this situation. She was fantastic. This like German lady that was like really like really extreme and like and she just said, you know, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Dude, that round table, right? She did an awesome job, man. She's fucking stirred the pot because they're all getting ready to have the round table, and she walks in, goes straight to the podium, and takes that's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Puts it in a bag and goes, "All right, now we let's start the round table. Bye." Ouch.
She's great. She stirs the pot. That happens again later in the season,
man.
By the way. So and like that's the only time I like her as a host, though. She's not a great host, and I really like the Australian guy, and I really like
Roger,
obviously Alan Cummings, and I really like the Europe lady. She's great.
Yeah, you don't like New Zealand, dude?
Yeah. No, okay,
he looks like the he looks like a cross between the 60s Penguin and the 7th Doctor Who.
That's true. That's true. I don't know about the Doctor Who thing, but I can see the Penguin part. The problem with the New Zealand one and with the Canada one is they don't take place at the same place that the Europe and the United States place. So it's like this. Those take place. Those are official, traders, right? And then everything else is kind of like, it's like traders knockoff. It's store brand traders. It's still very good.
Traders, yeah.
Like I really like it. Don't get me wrong, but it's Kroger brand traders. So.
But New Zealand season 2 was pretty damn awesome.
It was awesome. I love it. Man,
like when I was making fun of this dude for writing notes, and then like right near the end, he puts his notes together and he works out who the traders are, and I'm like, fucking hell.
And then he like sacrifices himself in order to like.
What if I say no
over a trader? Awesome, man. Awesome,
dude. Because he didn't want to play as a trader. Would have been too stressful for him, and they're already eye fucking him for the role anyway.
What if this season it comes down to the brother and sister somehow, like them and someone else? I hope that happens because I want to see his face when he realizes she's fucked him over, but I also want to see her face when she realizes he's fucked her over. God, I love that show. I love it. It's so awesome.
I'm Mr. Pink here. I'm just going to do a random backflip. Ouch. I would land right on my head. I'd probably give myself a bastard driver doing that.
That's like Tonga Loa. Remember that? He's like, I do the standing moonsault, you see, because I am the Jeff Cobbs. You are not.
Yeah.
You are not.
We're going to do that again, brother. No, don't do it again.
That was fun.
Oh my goodness. All right, man.
Yes? We have one last
we do.
wrestler diary from one of our favorite wrestler diaries. Oh my god. Because this man is so genuine, and he's genuine, but he's also a worker somehow. Brother, in like the most awesome way. His diaries usually just put everybody else over, just like he does in the ring.
Oh, that's right.
His name is Honma.
All right. This is from Jay. She says, unfortunately, this is Honma's last entry as his diary has been discontinued. There's a little photo that she's taken of his thing, and just says, "A Kakeshi story. This blog has been discontinued." Yes, indeed. And so it's episode 257. Okay. No word that this was going to be the last one yet. It's called Winner Predictions, and it is dated July 28th, 2024. So this is pre-G1.
He's putting over the company right here.
Oh, yeah.
His last diary.
The put overing has just begun. Hello, everyone. Kukeshi here. Hello, everyone. All right, I won't do that. Thank you, everyone, for coming to the arenas to watch G1 Climax 34. This year's G1 is hot, more so than normal. The atmosphere was set from the very first match. Wrestlers who can compete in such an environment are truly blessed. My own G1 Climax began with the opening match in Hiroshima. I hope to get through it without getting injured and win some matches. I'm trying to predict the winner of G1 Climax 34. It's still too early to say, since Takamatsu's show has only just finished. But all of the wrestlers I've seen, there's a few men who are in the best form. Yuya Uemura, 3 wins out of 3. Who could have predicted that? Back in Altogether, he was the one eating the loss in the main event, but that stain has been completely erased. He said he wanted to be the strongest wrestler of his generation, right? I can only support his ambition. His match layout is quite orthodox and easy to understand, and his striking is powerful.
Wow.
I think he may very well be the strongest at the moment.
Man, he's just putting people over. He's putting the young guys over.
Oh, yeah.
Man, Hanma. I love Hanma.
Takeshita. I'm ashamed to admit it, but this was my first time seeing Takeshita. He really is a remarkable athlete. My first impression was that I wanted this guy from some podunk promotion to get crushed. But if anything, he's the one doing the crushing. He has a sturdy body with a solid core. He can fly. He has technical ability. His timing is great. What else is there to say? There's no way he'll lose easily. He hits hard, which I love, and was able to lift Jeff Cobb into the air and keep him there. And transition into a German suplex. It was the first time I'd ever seen that. I'm sure Cobb was surprised too.
Luke, Hanma's talking about professional wrestling.
I know.
I can't believe it.
I want to know what happens if there's smokers that have used his hotel room. What does he do?
I don't care. I'm happy he's talking about wrestling.
How does he keep his voice so husky? What are the tricks? Right. Zach is always in good condition. He said that this time he's aiming to be the first foreigner to win since Kenny. It's amazing that he hasn't lost any speed, even though he's gotten bigger, and that combined with his technical ability, anyone would want to submit to him.
You want to submit?
Yeah,
I would.
I read that correctly.
Immediately.
I'm a bit inflexible, so I'd easily give up. No, I mean, there's no way I'd give up. Never give up. Tetsuya Naito, last year's winner and IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Oh, wow, he did win last year. We've come a long way since then, haven't we? Shit. Wow. And IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. He hasn't got any results, but Naito often starts tournaments in zombie mode. People on social media have been saying that he looks out of shape and that his knee looks like it's bothering him. But that's part of Tetsuya Naito's charm. Yeah, but this year's true. He's going to be right in the crosshairs, so the tough matches are only going to continue. Beating Tetsuya Naito is a big deal after all. But Naito is a tough guy to read. He can match his opponent 1-to-1. He can match technical to technical, lucha to lucha, power to power. Since he's a genius, he can match his opponent's style. I wonder if he'll win by being hard to beat. He's a bit like the first winner, Masahiro Chono, in that regard. As for my final prediction, it's Yuya. Congratulations on your victory. This is just my guess, but I think he's very conscious of Yota Tsuji winning the NJC in the spring. Yota is spring and Yuya is summer. Something like that. Anyway, I hope all the participants will wrestle their matches with passion without getting injured. I also do my best to get a win. See you at the arenas. Takeshi is happy. Everyone is happy. I like how in his final fucking diary entry, he puts over Yuya for winning the tournament and the poor dude is injured out.
Yeah. But
right near the end.
He was trying to push a storyline that didn't come to pass, and that's okay because Hanma, is just there to put the boys over. I mean, I love Hanma for that.
Yeah. That was just nothing but wrestling.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't like that necessarily, but when it's the last one, I mean, that was very Hanma. That was a very Hanma diary. And, I want 100% Hanma on the last diary. So that's what we got.
Yeah. Undiluted, unfiltered Hanma. Or Takeshi, as he likes to refer to himself. One day, I want to be a wrestler and refer to myself as my finishing maneuver.
Which would be what?
Hello, my name is Pimp Train.
No,
No?
your
I couldn't
finishing
think of a good.
maneuver would be a German suplex. That's what it would be.
Oh, that's right. My name is
Um,
now German Suplex. You're correct. It would be bridging German. Hello,
That's right.
bridging German here.
Obviously.
Obviously. What are you doing? You're doing like the Fosbury flop, like when they both roll out of the fucking ring at the
Yeah,
same
because
time. Like,
I'm a big fan of dives. I can't stop talking about them. So, but that is a good idea, though, falling out of the ring. You know, my finisher would, of course, be suplexing someone out of the ring. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's just like
Canadian
Tai Chi.
suplex.
Remember Tai Chi suplex to David Finlay? Like he did. He just fucking dangerous suplex.
Yeah. Any other wrestler, I would still be like, ooh. But doing it to David Finlay, I'm like, that man's got
amazing. I love that.
Don't let that man land there, please. But no, he was fine. There we go. We got some wrestling in at the end. So Charity would have finished this right about now. Oh, they're talking wrestling. Bye.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Charity. You'll like Megalopolis.
Yeah.
However you say it.
Megalopolis.
You'll like it whether you don't like it or you do like it. You will like it. I promise.
Right. I hope I like it more than Gladiator 2.
Gladiator.
WNBC.
That's right. Pig vomit. Remember that guy?
That movie made Paul Giamatti too, man. That's the first thing I saw him in. WNBC.
I don't remember the first movie I saw him in, but guy's tremendous, you know. Man, the Holdovers, that was like the big movie from last year around Christmas time. I watched that again this year. A tremendous movie.
Have not seen it, so there you go.
What are you doing with your life? You live in it? I'm just watching TV. So
yeah, got a life sometimes, I guess. No, I don't. I'm watching Doctor Who all the time. But yeah, but unless there's anything else that would like to.
Oh, what's that? I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Showing us that honorable Halo.
I was trying to get the camera to switch over to me, but it didn't do it. So
no,
just fucked up the joke. But yes, Luke.
Oh, okay. Then in Colin Farrell, we trust. Come on, man.